Good evening, everyone, and happy Thursday. We are very, very late for a very important date because that's what we do here at the Geeks, Wives, and Capes. We have technical issues sometimes, but we are here. We are excited, as always, to be with you on Thursday for episode 82 of the Geeks with Wives and Capes. I hope you're all having a fantastic week. As always, I am your super crazy, wild, obnoxious man of many faces host, Darth Sparrow. And I am joined with we got the full team back this week. Of course, starting with the bad boy of comics, has made his triumphant return, Mr. Casey Walsh. What's up, man?
What?
House? Yeah. Getting crazy already. What's up, man? Where you've been kind of in Siberia with bad internet connections and all over the place,
battling the forces of evil.
Exactly.
3-year-old child.
I'm sure those can be a force of evil.
Yeah, and DSL internet connections and
yes,
and shoddy hard drives and whatnot. So.
Yeah, are you back up in like 100% working order now, or?
Yeah, we're back, bitches. Let's do this thing.
Woo!
Awesome, man. Good to have you. And for those of you that are listening and not watching, the lovely Miss Piper Steed is channeling her inner Snow White today, with this beautiful, very dark brunette wig and her lovely pale skin and these bright red lips. Piper, I'm totally serious about the Snow White thing. You got to rock that at some point.
Yeah, no, I didn't think about it until you said something, and I'm like, well, shoot, put on a frilly dress, and there we go.
I'm waiting for seven dwarves to pop out of the closet.
Oh boy.
I am glad I have a taser.
I thought you were gonna say that's a normal Saturday night for you anyway. So.
Oh yes.
Oh no, see, but today's Thursday. That's hence the taser.
Okay, gotcha. You're like
they're not supposed to be here. I didn't order them.
Wrong day, dwarves. Wrong day.
Get back in there.
It's podcast night. You're gonna.
I have this really weird knack, Piper, for looking at my friends, especially when I meet new people, and the first question in my head, it has nothing to do with what they do for a living or their background. My first question is, who could they cosplay as? You know what you'd make a really good of? That's
my gosh.
I have this weird filter, when I meet new people.
I do that too.
That's like your mutant power.
Yeah. Exactly. We can cosplay, and what's funny though is when people directly
cosplay for you.
Yeah, when people directly ask me, "Oh, I need help cosplaying. What should I do?" I'm like, "I don't know. Why are you asking me?" It's gotta come naturally, or it doesn't come at all. But yeah, anyway, so we're excited. I'm glad everybody's back this week because I missed you all. I missed you all.
Aww.
No, don't get all sappy on me.
I'm sorry. It's just what I do. So anyways, without further ado, let's get to our esteemed guest this evening. Tonight, we are joined by not one, but two awesome comic book industry professionals. And we are joined by husband and wife team Chris and Amanda Garrett from Overtime Comics. Chris and Amanda, welcome to the show. How are we doing tonight?
Doing great, guys. Thank y'all for having us. We're excited to be here.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, for sure. We're excited to have you guys. So, first of all, tell us where do you lovely folks hail from?
Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas. How's life in Austin, Texas right now?
It's wonderful. They canceled school and a bunch of stuff today because it was snowing, and by snowing, I think that someone saw a cloud and got scared. It was barely raining.
It was like the sky's falling type of situation?
Yeah. A couple droplets of rain and the entire city shut down, so not a bad day.
That sounds like Fresno when it rains.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like the first rain of the season.
Wait, does it snow in Texas?
Yeah, a little bit.
Once every, I don't know, 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, well, we get a few flakes, every year or two, and sometimes it'll accumulate, but never more than dust.
It's a light haze of snow.
So it's a brown snow, is what you're telling me.
See, my mom is at Dallas right now, and she'll call me up because it's snowed a few times there, and she's called me every time, and I will hear cars screeching and crashing in the background, And no, she will call me so that I can listen to them, and she'll go, yeah, it's snowing a little bit. She goes, so far 3
Do you hear
cars
Benny Hill
slid
music
out of the
too?
parking lot. What?
Benny Hill music. Benny Hill music.
Right? In my head, I had it in my head. But yeah, she's always laughing, and she wants me to listen to it. It's her apartment complex parking lot. Apparently, just everybody goes nuts there and crashes their cars for a little bit of snow.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Part of it is that our streets are made out of concrete to help with the really really like hot weather that we get.
Yeah.
Whereas up north they're done with asphalt.
Sure.
So we can fit for the cold. So it doesn't absorb the cold like the once a year it'll happen, and then everything just blows up.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's some serious.
Yeah, I was born in Austin. That's why I was excited when I realized that that's where y'all were at.
Oh, awesome.
Awesome. Great. Well, we're excited to have you guys. So let's start with our our cliche quintessential question we ask all our guests. Tell us about your origin story, or hey, even like tell us how you guys met. Let's start with the romantic side of the world today.
Ooh.
Dim the lights down low. Have romantic story time.
Yes. I have to bust out the Barry White voice for that to be like, oh yeah.
We were both standing in line at Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring.
Is that how?
What we need is a Barry White version of the Enya song.
Ah, yes. That'd be something else, man. Yeah. Yeah. So tell us about that, Chris.
So we met at a friend of ours who's actually involved with the company too, Josh and Kim Pritchard. He had a birthday party and was like, yeah, you should come out and hang out. So I'm like, okay, cool. Showed up, and she was the only person there. We had been duped.
That wasn't a setup.
Oh, I was just going to say your friend is a loser, but I'm kidding. You're my only two friends.
They totally set you up, man.
Yeah, maybe we've been looking at it really positively, but maybe Josh just didn't have any buddies. We'll have to ask him about that tomorrow.
That's Piper. She'll put a different spin on anything for you.
Yeah, no, my brain goes straight to, I don't know, Nelson, I guess, laughing at people.
Yeah, we were supposed to meet like a year earlier at his same birthday, but I was moving that day, and about 5 minutes into moving, I twisted my ankle.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I had to cancel on the party.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Yeah. But dated. How long did we date before we got married? She's in charge of all math.
Yes.
Yeah, my wife too. That's why our bills get paid.
3 years. That's what I was gonna say.
That too.
3 years. Awesome. So tell us about your early days as a geek. Like what kind of things inspired you in the geek world growing up and stuff like that.
Definitely, X-Men was a huge influence of mine. Growing up, X-Men was really the only comic that I read. Oddly enough, when I was a kid, I wasn't very creative. I didn't really have an interest in telling stories, and I would watch like Power Rangers and Gargoyles and all the really good cartoons.
Right.
One of my favorites to this day is Mummies Alive, which I think I'm the only person. I'm pretty sure I invented it because I'm the only person that remembered it.
No, I forgot all about it till you said that.
Well, I have no clue what a Mummy's Alive is. I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh.
Piper and I will just have a nostalgia moment together, but
Yeah.
You're like,
yes, someone else remembers. I'm very excited about that. But yeah, just old cartoons and X-Men comics were really my big inspiration growing up, geek-wise.
Right. Awesome. How about you, Amanda?
I had a brother. He had some stuff, and I learned enough to.
Made her play Magic with him and stuff.
Yeah.
Excellent. It's kind of one of those things where it's like you have nobody else to play that with, so you're like, hey, play this game with me.
Yeah, I was so excited. So
I have a sister.
Yeah, you sound excited.
You're like, yeah. Cards, yay.
And now she's a husband who makes her play Dead of Winter, so.
Hey. Sounds awesome.
She did enjoy that one. That one was fun.
So Chris, how did you get into writing? How did you get into writing comics?
So I originally started with I thought that I wanted to do film, and then I did film and realized I didn't want to do film at all.
Yeah.
But I realized that what I really enjoyed from the film work I had done, which was very little, was the storytelling part of it.
Sure.
So I got to where I was like, oh, well, I'll just write short stories and novels, and back then at least I didn't really get into it.
Mm-hmm.
And it had been years of kind of like, oh, it'd be neat if I did this, and then I'd go do something else. And then finally, when we got into the books and everything, I was talking to Amanda and was like, hey, I have a neat idea for a superhero. And she's like, I bet you could go on like DeviantArt, give someone $20 and they'll draw them for you. And I was like, no, that's not how it works. That's exactly how it works, in case you're curious.
We're slowly finding this out through our different guests.
Yes, DeviantArt, Pencil Jack, all those websites, good things to have. But yeah, met up with a girl named Bethany on there who did some concept art for us, and so I got the picture back of Turbulence, our first character, and I was like, oh, that was neat. I'm gonna do another one, and just kind of grew from there.
Gotcha. So Amanda, what was your initial thought when your husband says, "Hey, I want to write this comic book"? What's your first thought that comes through your head?
I can tell you what their first thought was.
Yeah.
How are we gonna pay to keep the lights on?
We weren't that far in, really, when he decided to start, so I guess I sort of knew what I was signing up for when I married him.
Gotcha.
Started it. I just didn't think that this would be the hobby necessarily that stuck. I mean, I'm glad it did. He's very good at it, but he's had a lot of hobbies.
Yeah. You're like, great. Here's something else. We'll be done. We'll be done doing it in a month or so.
Exactly.
Well, that was the original intention. I was like, hey, it'd be really cool if we had this character drawn, and so she was like, okay, let's get him drawn. I was like, oh, now that he's drawn, I should write a story for him. Yeah. And originally, we talked it out and we decided to just do an issue. It would be something cool that would sit on the shelf, tell the grandkids, oh, I made that. Right. And then I got it, and I was like, oh, we should do that again. And now we're doing 2 different series.
Right. You're like, this is awesome.
Yeah. That is awesome.
So let me back you up a second before I move on. So you did some stuff in movies, like anything that we can actually watch or see that you worked on? Did you make any like crazy, weird, like cross-genre movies or something?
Absolutely, to no extent in the universe, no. Thankfully, YouTube wasn't quite the success back then, because I'd be forever. Yeah. Back then, I was really big into martial arts, and that's where I spent a lot of my time. And so my friends and I basically came up with really bad plot points to string together the fight scenes that we wanted to film, and that's all that it was.
Wait, so are you telling me that Power Rangers fan film wasn't yours?
That was our prototype. He stole it.
So Chris, give us an example of a bad plot point you came up with.
Oh man. Oh geez. Okay, I would like to say everything that we've written. Don't judge me on this, listeners. That's what I'm going to say. I wrote a kung fu romantic comedy film that was called 1 Week, and week was spelled W-E-A-K.
Okay.
It was about 2 brothers that were raised together in a monastery, and their master was this drunk, ridiculous guy who was going through a bitter divorce. And so they're out in the middle of nowhere, and these 2 kids are like, hey, so why are we doing all this martial arts stuff? And their master's drunk and basically tells them that marriage is the greatest battle they'll ever have to fight. So they go through their entire lives thinking that during the ceremony, it ends with the I do's as this big fight scene, so they vow to have a double wedding. Nice. And then hilarity and terrible, terrible plot ensues. It probably wasn't funny at all.
Are you sure? Because
that sounds like
I'm having a good time.
That sounds like the plot to Double Dragon 7.
So, Double Dragon 7.
It could totally pass for a Double Dragon game. We'll add some Battletoads and bring that back.
There we go.
Now you're dropping something that I know.
So yeah, don't judge me on that, listeners. I was young and naive.
So awesome. So back to your comics. So you got Turbulence back. You decided, hey, cool. This is really something. It's really something I could do. You could continue this. Tell us a little bit about where you came up with the original concept for the story.
Sure. Turbulence, our first book that we have, it's about, in case the listeners haven't seen it, it's about a young guy with superpowers, decides he wants to go out, start doing the right thing. Very much a regular origin story at the beginning. What kind of makes it stand out is that the superpowers aren't gained from explosions or accidents. You have to actually earn them based off of your hobbies or your passions, whatever it is you're devoted to becomes your superpower.
Wow.
And the idea for that kind of came from the basic thought of, boy, I would really like superpowers, but I don't want to explode. It just kind of seemed like you had to do one to have the other.
Right. Casey, what were you going to
say? I say, Chris, you really are a bit of a hobby whore.
Yes, very much.
That's awesome. And what was I going to ask you, man? I'm sorry, guys. Just drew a total blank. So tell us a little bit about the inspiration for the main character. He has, like you said, he has a kind of a I guess we could say a familiar-ish origin story that some, a lot of comic book characters that we know have this type of origin story. But what kind of...
His origin story is incredibly generic, to be honest. It's basically like a Uncle Ben style. His dad gets gunned down, and he's on an airplane piloting it when it happens, and because he was close to his dad, he wants to kind of live up to him. Starts fighting crime once he gets powers. The reason we thought a lot about how to do it, and we decided to keep it with sort of something you were familiar with. One, just to kind of pay tribute to the superhero legends that have come before it.
Yeah.
And two, also just to be able to put our own unique spin on what follows after that. Right. The starting point is very similar to a lot of things you've seen. But I still think there's area to be explored in taking that in a direction you haven't, and that's kind of what we were hoping to do with it.
Right. There's a lot of really cool elements. I was doing some reading obviously today before the show, and there's some really cool things. A lot of it felt I guess this kind of issue has been dealt with in a lot of different comics. Is I guess the public being more accepted and more knowing that there's superheroes out there. They're not really so secretive, almost to where there's a spot in one of the earlier issues of the book where they're kind of joining with the police force to kind of help police things a little bit more. Explain that to us for me.
Sure. Yeah. Initially with that, we've all seen where this certain group of individuals is, hated by the military or the public. And to be honest, I just think that if all of a sudden people were able to get superpowers, especially not from like a one-off explosion, but it slowly becomes revealed and understood that you can just earn your powers through, enough devotion to whatever you're into. I think they would almost be hailed like the new celebrities. But celebrities that could particularly be useful in, stopping crime. And not all of them do it. There's one of our characters, Amp, who's basically just a greedy musician. And I think you would have a new brand of pop stars, a new brand of, super cop. And I think, all different reflections of humanity would be. And I think the public would get into it too.
Hey guys, my co-host, let me ask you this. If you could earn your own powers, what power would you want to earn?
Oh, I don't think this is an appropriate podcast to talk about that.
Come on, really?
Want to earn or would probably earn?
Yeah, let's go with would probably earn.
Maybe same answer to both?
Yeah.
I did just listen to y'all's podcast from last week, and there was a lot of time stopping and boobs, so maybe that'd be his power.
I know, right? I think that probably has something to do with it. Huh, Casey?
Maybe. Maybe a little more south of the equator.
What about you, Piper?
Let's just say I would be a god among women.
Yes. Okay, gotcha.
I think that I would probably be some sort of version of Hulk, only hopefully more like a werewolf. and it would just be, anytime somebody says something stupid,
Yeah.
I would.
So that would require you hanging out with a lot of wolves, Piper. That may be dangerous for you and your child. So I'm not sure I would recommend it.
I mean, I could educate you on wolves, but it's not that kind of podcast. But it actually wouldn't, depending. But still, some sort of hulking out anytime somebody says something stupid, or maybe my brain will hulk out to fight not losing brain cells or something. Yeah.
It's
Either way, pants would be destroyed. Either way.
Oh,
Will-
which reminds me.
Pants.
Tell us about your shirt, Piper.
Okay, really quick, because I was gonna do it in the beginning, but we talked Snow White instead.
Wait, before you stand up, you're wearing pants, right?
No.
Nope.
Oh.
I'm not gonna stand that far up. I wear pants on this show. Okay. Right? So, alright, so one of my friends sent me a shirt that says, "No pants are best pants." Because no, I don't have to wear pants to podcast. The camera's like, here up. This is like the best gig ever.
Chris and Amanda, just this is the kind of show you just walked into. Sorry.
Yeah.
Hey, we're on board.
Sweet. No pants all the time on the show for Piper. I don't think you've ever actually worn pants in a single episode, have you?
I think there was like one episode where I was exceptionally cold, so I had like some jammy pants on.
Gotcha. Yes.
Will, can I tell you what your superpower is going to be? Sorry, you guys totally interrupted my joke. You would be like Mystique, but with cosplay.
Yes.
So
There
you
we
like,
go.
just like morph into like a different cosplay every time, but you'd still be like Will. You know what I mean?
Yes. Does that mean I'd always have like the best cosplay?
Yes.
No, it'd always be like kind of like Midland like cosplay.
Yeah. Like mediocre?
Yeah, like you're winning like second, third place maybe, but you're never gonna get like the top prize.
But you're still placing. So
It's always just a little bit off.
Right. People like Jessica and Agree would still beat me.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, darn it. Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. Like, you can shapeshift, but only into fictional characters.
Okay. I like that. I can go with that. Hey, Chris and Amanda, I wanted to ask you something funny. I was looking at your website, and I like the tagline under Overtime Comics. It says, "Making comics one paycheck at a time." Explain to me this funny tagline you have.
Sure. So whenever we decided we were going to do it, start getting the actual pages drawn, I looked at the cost of it,
Right.
and because we pay for all of our art to be done, up front, and I was like, well, there's no way, that I can afford this, that we can do this together. It's too expensive. And she's like, hey, so where'd you just get back from? And I was like, the store. She's like, where'd you go before that? And I was like, the comic shop. And she goes, okay, what did you buy? And I was like, oh, just $200 worth of comics. And,
Holy shit!
yeah.
Dang.
Yeah. And then I was like, oh, look, that money could go over here.
No, I was the one that was like that, but well.
Yeah, it was all her idea. I'll try to steal the credit and not try to be that oblivious, but I absolutely was.
My wife gets mad at me for $30. Like if I go over 30, like I get like a stern look when I walk in the door. But 200, holy jeez.
Yeah, we were early in the dating phase, so she couldn't quite call me out for $200 on comics.
Gotcha.
A couple weeks later, she could, but it was still early.
Gotcha. Instead, you just got the weird look, right? Like really.
Yeah. So we've just kind of, for the past couple of years, been doing it, one paycheck at a time. Just get the money, set some aside, pay your bills, and make some comics.
Yeah, it's literally comics on a budget, right?
Yes, absolutely.
That's
And I love things like Kickstarter and all that. Kickstarter itself wasn't around when we started.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I've always preferred backing and seeing a finished project up there versus, hey, guys, I had this idea, give me some money.
Yeah.
I've always really liked and respected the people who went out and just figured out how to do it and then brought their finished product to the table.
Amanda, what exciting, amazing role do you play in this whole scenario here?
She gets to say yes.
That is not how that goes.
That is one of my favorite parts. No, I'm good at the criticisms and things like that.
Right.
I handle story editing, but mostly just editing as a whole. It's something that I've always been pretty good at and interested in, and I've gotten to work with a lot of different people on it in different capacities.
Right.
And so comics was just a whole different thing to learn.
Okay.
As far as editing goes, but I've learned a lot from it, and Chris has showed me just all kinds of things. So it's been really a fun project.
Yeah. What were you doing before comics?
Poetry. Some short stories, just helping friends out with things.
Yeah.
I've always done it kind of as a hobby, just personally.
Right.
But I'm a lot better at fixing. Like, I would have done it differently.
Yeah.
For stuff that's already done.
Yeah.
So we get to talk a lot of different plot points out and things.
Do you ever just get some things that come across you that you're like, no way, this is horrible. Like, how do you approach those kind of things?
Well, if she does, she definitely doesn't bring it up before Valentine's Day or her anniversary.
Right.
No. I did not do that. You're right.
Hey, guess when the new script's gonna be due now?
When's that?
It's gonna be right before her birthday.
Oh no.
Oh man.
No,
See what you guys did.
Yeah.
He has really good ideas. He is an excellent storyteller.
I think the hardest thing for her is probably keeping me focused, because I'll be working on a book and I'll be like, oh, and now I had this idea, and she's like, no. It's kind of like I get to be like kind of like this kid in a candy store, and I can have some candy, but then I just go a little wacky. So
right.
It's part of the hobby whore in me, just keeping it. I'm like, oh, well, it's still writing, so this counts, and it's like, well, maybe I need to do this.
She's like, no, one project at a time. You can only has one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get away with a lot more than one, but more than I should.
Right. Hey, that's good. At least you know it, right?
Yeah, definitely.
The wife knows there's accountability there. Definitely your book Turbulence has some really colorful characters. I only got to read the first, 3 issues that you have on your website, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And you have a whole slew of really cool characters. Why don't you tell our listeners about some of your characters? One specifically that, since you told us about your background in movies and how you had some like very kung fu inspired, I gotta guess that one of the characters was directly a result of that. Am I right?
Yeah, I've always had a big love of martial arts, and one of the characters that is definitely influenced from that background is Haku and his sister Flutter.
Yeah.
They're 2 of the characters, very young, and they're on this team that Turbulence joins up with. He was adopted by Flutter's family, so now they consider themselves brother and sister, but that's not always been the case.
Mm-hmm.
Her dad is an archaeologist and would take them out on these fake digs, and in order to get them to do something together, he would hide what he would call dragon bones in the dirt. So they would dig for dragon bones together. They kind of came, to be brother and sister over their love of dragons. So that's where their power kind of comes from, is that devotion to dragons.
Right.
So yeah, thank you. She she has these big wings that are indestructible that let her fly around, and her brother's a big time martial artist and can breathe fire.
Sweet.
See, Casey, I can turn into a wolf person without hanging out with actual wolves.
There you go. You just have to reach a near worship level of wolves, and you're in. More than any other wolf lover.
I think Piper's already there.
Done
I'm
and done.
pretty much there.
Congratulations, you're a wolf person.
I'm the wolf person.
You should see her husband, very hairy man.
Yeah. I take my devotion to wolf stuff very seriously.
Uber to the next level.
Yeah. Some of the other characters we have, like one of our notable villains is a guy named Six Shooter.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about him.
Yeah, Six Shooter was a lot of fun to come up with. Just growing up in Texas, having this like cowboy villain who's really not all that evil. He robs banks and then will later give them back the money so that they have the income that he can rob from them again later.
Please tell me he has 6 penises.
It's like 6 penises.
Wow! Ooh, that wasn't me this time, you guys.
Wow, Casey, you beat her to it this time.
I had to.
Spoilers, Casey. Spoilers. Come on, man.
His Six Shooter has a really besides about the whole 6 penis thing.
Gather it up. Get it together, Will. Lock it up. Lock it up.
Yes.
He has these 6 different guns that he uses, like an ice gun, fire gun, acid gun, like that. And he never shoots the same one twice in a row. He constantly shoots one, puts it back, takes another, shoots one, puts it back. Just in case there's a mind reader he's fighting and he doesn't know it.
Yeah, I thought that was a really cool little twist. He's kind of like he's already thinking about how to get around his enemies. It's really cool.
Yeah.
Good thing his name's not Quick Draw.
Hey-o!
Sorry, I was waiting for a silence to throw that one in there.
Yeah.
Good job. Well done.
That'd be a whole nother.
I'm proud of myself. I'm done, guys. Okay, good night.
Well, this was fun, guys. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Woo!
What? How many issues of Turbulence are out right now?
As of right now, for Turbulence, we have the first 5 issues out, collected in one volume.
Right.
And it's the same for Defects as well. We're doing them in complete volumes instead of doing the individual issues. Here out, we will do downloads per issue, where it's $1 an issue to download it. Okay. But then we'll put them in big books, just so you can get more story at once. They're cheaper to print, makes them cheaper to sell to people. Just works out kind of well for everyone.
Excellent, yeah. Where can our listeners go and find your awesome books?
We have them at overtimecomics.com. Overtime, like you're working a lot. Comics, like a comic book with an S at the end. And we've got a little store on there, and we'll ship them out to you and everything. Or you can just do the digital downloads for $5, and it gives you the entire volume.
They're pretty awesome. So let's talk about your other book, Defects. It's my little impression of Defects is gonna be it's like if the Lost Boys had superpowers and they were evil.
Ooh.
Can I quote you on that and put it on the book? Because that's fantastic.
Yes, you can. I would be happy for you to do that.
I'll totally we'll have to put that on the next print run. Yeah, it's I've always loved Lord of the Flies is my favorite novel ever. And I've like I said earlier, I love X-Men, and I wanted to once again take something familiar. Brandon Sanderson has this thing where he says that a good story is made up of one part familiar and then one part unique, so you can kind of relate to it. Sure. So kids being in a school for kids with powers, we've obviously seen that. And then what kind of separates that, in my own way, is that half of the kids think that the teachers are trying to turn them into weapons. So they break out of the school, they're living in the wild, hunting for food, trying to save their friends.
Right.
But the kids back in the school think they're insane and want nothing to do with them.
Gotcha.
And the story's kind of told from the perspective of the kids inside and outside the school, with flashbacks to their time where they all lived there together. Yeah.
It's really intense, man. It's really dark and intense. I really got a kick out of that second book, Defects. It's wild, man. Do they explain kind of how they got to the school? I mean, just from what I read, I'm really trying to figure out, like, now, were these kids like somehow created and they were like being tested in some kind of facility, or were they captured because of their abilities? I'm sure the rest of the volume explains it.
Answer D, all of the above.
Gotcha.
Yeah, there's definitely flashbacks showing some of their first days. I believe in issue 4, there's a flashback to the very first day they're all there, and they're being spoken to from the character called the General, who is Johnny's father. Johnny is the leader of the kids still inside of the school.
Okay.
But it kind of goes back and forth between if it's him that's evil or if it's a game plan, the leader of the kids on the outside of the school.
Right.
And so as mature of the two of them can be, they also get into little, did to, did not sort of arguments because at their heart they're still kids.
Sure.
Amanda, what was your first thoughts when you started reading his scripts for this book? Because he puts children in very violent and uncomfortable scenarios. And I can imagine you being kind of like, are you sure you want to do this one?
Well, I guess we don't have any children as of yet.
Explains a lot. That makes sense.
Her grandmother did. She was on Facebook and she saw that. Oh, I saw y'all released a new book. Send me a copy, and I'm like, listen, real quick.
No, Grandma.
Send her a copy of Adventure Time. Yeah, here it is. Check it out.
I sent her a copy with a handwritten note explaining it was a little bit more violent.
Yeah.
And, that she should just know that Chris has lots of talents in writing. Writes all kinds of stories.
It's like the best disclaimer ever to your book to Grandma.
I imagine she called Amanda and was like, "Do you need blink twice if you need me to come get you?"
Are you okay?
I think my favorite part of what he just said was she called her.
I know.
And said, blink twice.
Yeah.
Can you hear me blinking?
I realized that as it was coming out of my mouth, but it was too late to stop it.
Yeah.
Much like a lot of the stuff that comes out of my mouth.
So what was Grandma's reaction after she read the book?
She sent us a check for the book.
And a number for a divorce attorney. I know this great guy in Austin. He's not.
She seemed to really like it.
That's good.
To her, and she said it's very, very different.
Yeah. Isn't it great when they use that word different?
Yeah.
Different. Chris, if you could write for any book, any superhero that's already out, is there anybody who you would?
Hold on. If you say Batman, I'm kicking you off the podcast right now.
No, not Batman. I'm going to have to answer that in two parts between my dream project and then an existing one that I want to work on.
Yes.
The existing one I'd want to do would be X-Men. Any version, I don't care. Yeah. Just so I can do an Omega Red story. Ooh. Because I am a huge Omega Red fan. We'll probably hide the mummies from Mummies Alive in the panel somewhere, too.
Oh, yeah.
What if they gave you the dupe ongoing?
I would do that, and I would put Marrow in there, because Marrow and Dupe would have some interesting conversations, I think.
Will and Piper are like, I have no idea who you guys are talking about.
I'm all Dupe, Marrow.
It's okay.
Sometimes I go on these geek tangents, and she's like, that's nice, sweetie.
Yeah. Okay, Casey knows what you're talking about.
The dream book I would want to do is, and I've spent way too much time of my life thinking about this, she's already shaking her head. Yeah. I want to do the origin story of Rufio from Hook.
Oh, that would be amazing.
I've sent emails to the people in charge of Peter Pan, and I got approval for everything except the character of Rufio. So if I can get that, everything will be wonderful. But yeah, I got the rights to print like Tiger Lily and everything, which most people don't get. So
just call him Dufio.
Dufio, there you go.
Right.
You should just go and hit up the gentleman who played him in the movie and get him beat.
I've actually sent him Twitter messages, and he responded, and we are scheduled for a convention next month that he's going to be at.
Awesome.
I'm actually considering taking some demo artwork, having my artist slap something together and being like, so listen, where do I come from here, Dante?
Yeah, Dante Basco, that's right, that's his name. Right. Yeah, You just need to get him on board, and it'll happen.
Exactly.
That's awesome.
We don't
He's
have
be like,
yet.
I fucking hate
She
Rufio.
won't let me name our kids or name our kids Rufio, so she doesn't get to have kids until she agrees.
Let us know how that battle goes.
So, you'll be adopting a kid on your deathbed.
Awesome. Amanda, is there any dream project you have in mind?
I really don't know. I'm really enjoying working on the stuff independently with Chris. I get a lot of stories from him of a lot of different varieties. I also enjoy seeing different ways at conventions and online that the books are marketed. It's kind of the type of work that I do as a day job.
Yeah.
And so I've done a few things with the Women in Comics groups as far as panels at shows, and I've really enjoyed working on those, and I'm glad to continue and would hope to do more.
Yeah.
Amanda's dream project is a glass of red wine and a Real Housewives of Atlanta marathon.
Oh, see, now you had me at the red wine, and I was going to agree, but...
Yes.
Okay,
But,
slash marathon.
Hey, Chris and Amanda, what any upcoming conventions people can see you at?
Yeah, this month of March we've actually got several on, as I open my calendar unprepared. I believe it's the 21st. We're going to be in Waco, Texas for Heart of Texas Con.
Okay.
Yeah, 21st, 22nd, the 28th and 29th. Aha, there's my calendar. The 27th through the 29th will be at College Station at AggieCon. And then April 4th and 6th will be at HavenCon here in Austin.
Excellent. Cool.
So
if you want to meet Chris and Amanda, go check it out. Go check them out at one of those awesome shows.
Yeah.
You guys got some awesome stuff going on, man. I definitely want to pick up the rest of Defects and find out what happens.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Yeah, we look forward to doing it. You know, we can't put them out as quick as we would like. Amanda's mom has a quote: "As quick as you can, as slow as you must." So, you know, can't quite break the bank, but the comics, especially now that we have them in bound, trades that people seem to really be enjoying, we're able to produce them a lot quicker than we were. So we'll have more pages on the website and everything.
Excellent. Hey, real quick before we move to the next segment, you want to give another shout out to the artist that does your book?
Yeah, absolutely. Marlene and Johnny with Turbulence, and Raoul Rourke and Johnny and Andre, who now both work as colorist on the book. So to all of my amazing team, thank you for putting up with me.
That's always fun. That's awesome, man. Well, we're the books. They're both really great. They're definitely a very contrast and dynamic as far as what the books are about. So I think there's a little bit of something for everybody. If you like crazy dark stuff, definitely check out Defects. If you like your more traditional superhero, check out Turbulence. They're both amazing books. Thank you for talking with us about these awesome books you guys have.
No, absolutely. We're very happy to be on the show and to kind of get to talk about all of the stuff we've been up to. So it's nice to get it out there.
Yeah, you guys are great. Thank you.
Yeah, do you guys want to stick around a little bit?
Oh, yeah.
I thought we were scaring off Amanda, so I'm glad you think we're doing great. As soon as this podcast ends, she'd be like, Chris, no, never again.
I'm offended about the housewives thing, but...
Darn it, Casey!
I was trying to think of a stereotypical, girl show. I know, I'm a terrible person. Okay, I've made peace with it at this point.
Well, you're supposed to defend our listeners, not our guests.
I know.
Yeah.
Sorry, Amanda.
Yeah, we love you. All right, kids. Let's talk about our Week in Geek. Casey, you're up first, man.
Okay, I'm gonna go super fast, really ultra fast, because I want to talk about the Age of Ultron trailer, and we're already running way behind on time.
Yeah, we're fine.
So I read Ant-Man Prelude #2. It's basically like a prequel to the movie. It's okay. All right, next. Well, I didn't read Guardians of the Galaxy Team Up yet, but I have Guardians of the Galaxy Team Up. It's like a weird continuation of like the movie, kind of. I don't know. It's weird. Brian Michael Bendis has literally gone off the fucking rails and just is like, I'm gonna do whatever I want. Fuck you. So that's what's happening with that. Yeah. Princess Leia, #1.
Yeah.
Fantastic, man.
Did you
What
like
a great.
it?
I really liked it a lot. Mark Waid's a tremendous writer.
Yeah.
This Piper, I know you have this thing where you don't, not that you don't like girl books, but you don't like how they're promoted. Oddly enough, this is probably the most like girl or female like I don't know how to say it, like female friendly, I guess. But this is like very like this is a very good book for girls to get into comics because it is about two very strong like females, and it's not like shoved in your face. Like it's just about them. Like they're just hanging out and like they have to, like they're put in the situation together and they have to kind of do things, and like Princess Leia, like they're trying to treat Princess Leia like this delicate flower, and she's like, fuck that, I'm not a delicate flower. Like I want to go save the Empire or the rebellion, and I want to go do this
She's
stuff.
like,
So,
I have things to do. I'm not gonna sit here and cry.
yeah.
I got people to save.
And yeah, and all the men are like, "You're a princess. You're not gonna go save the world." And she's like, "Yeah, I am. Fuck you." So it's very cool. I really liked it, and thought I was gonna be put off by the art because like for some reason in the first couple like pages, and those are the preview pages usually, the art looks weird.
Yeah.
But like as the book went on, like I felt like it kind of grew on me a little bit more. So
Yeah, you kind of dissolve into the story where the art just kind of meshes with it.
yeah. Also, I read.
I was really curious about that one, so I'm glad you.
Yeah, it's really good, and like you said, I know you like. We always give shit to like books. We're like, we're gonna go on The View and say how progressive we're being. Like, no, that book has no mention. Like, there's no. I never felt like it was ever promoted like that. Like ever once. Like
it
ever.
wasn't.
And I think that's a book that probably should have been promoted like that, because like. I think that's a book that every girl probably isn't gonna like. I'm gonna say that this is what like a book I'm gonna give to my daughter. Like this is a character I want you to grow up to be like. Like, don't let anyone push you around just because like they think you're supposed to this delicate, like, sensitive flower and like you're whatever. So,
right.
I don't know. I'm an
No, I like that. That's exactly what I
talk.
like in more girl-centric comics. Is that right there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's very cool. I also read I hope I'm pronouncing this right. Descender #1. And that is a new book from Jeff Lemire. And if you don't know Jeff Lemire, he writes these super weird, like, sci-fi comics. And then he also does like mainstream comics like Green Arrow and Justice League International and those kinds of things. But his creator-owned stuff is always like top-notch, like crazy storytelling. And Descender is exactly that. It's this crazy sci-fi story where like, remember the sounds so dumb. Remember the Animatrix?
Oh God.
Okay,
Yeah.
and you remember the one where it showed like the robot uprising?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so that is Descender, but like that like the robot uprising is one giant like mega robot, and they just wipe out entire like planets.
Wow.
And then like they like do a bunch of digging. They're like, oh, where the fuck did these robots come from? And like they find out that they came from like these like companion droids that were like built for like companionship on colonies.
Mm-hmm.
And the only one left is like a little boy. He's like 12. So he's
Yeah.
like this 12-year-old robot, and he has like a dog, and he's all cute and like friendly. But like they're setting it up to be like he's like this evil like force that created like these giant like monolithic robots that destroyed like an entire universe basically. It's really cool. The art is super dark and like almost like chalk. I feel like it could be chalk, but I don't know. I'm not a like art curator. Why do people listen to me talk about this stuff? I really liked it a lot. It's really good. In fact, Enrique reviewed it for Geeks with Wives, and he gave it a 10. And I think it's totally deserving of that score. Last but not least, I'm forgetting the name of this book, but I was reading it just before we hopped on here. I think it's called Big Man Plans. Maybe. Hold on. Oh yeah, that's right. Big Man Plans. And it's about it's dwarf is the right word, right? I don't want to like. Is a little person? I don't know. It's about a dwarf, or it's about Peter Dinklage.
Okay.
And basically, it is kind of like this heart-wrenching story of like his life, and then like he grows up to be like this super badass.
Okay.
Like the opening scene is like him in a bar, and like all these guys are like making fun of him. They like buy him chocolate milk, and like they put it like in a little like kid's glass.
Oh, that's
and, like,
stupid.
Yeah, but when he leaves the bar, he doesn't say anything. He just like, and I guarantee you this is gonna be made a movie, and Peter Dinklage is gonna play the part because whoever did the art on it drew Peter Dinklage. Like it is Peter Dinklage with like.
Seriously?
Yeah, like with like long, like a mullet. Like I swear to God. So I'm totally just being an offensive asshole right now. So like he's like, yeah, whatever, you guys. He doesn't say anything. They're being total assholes to him, and like when he leaves, he's like, oh, tips on the bar, and he like tips the cup over, so like the part you drink out of is facing the bottom of the bar, so like you tip it over.
Yeah.
And so when the guy lifts up the cup, there's a $20 bill there. So he's like, oh, we may have been a dick to that guy, but he sure is a good tipper. And he picks up the cup, and like there's a grenade under there, and the whole bar explodes. So
nice.
So like it's this kind of like story about like what made this guy like hate the world, and then it's really like sweet and like violent and kind of makes you feel for him, but. And it makes you like the thing when he like destroyed that bar. You're like, yeah, fuck yeah, you did kill those assholes. Yeah, you deserved it. I want to find a grenade and try that myself.
Yes, I hope they die. I hope they burn in hell.
Yeah.
Casey is now banned from like all bars. Like
from all bars and no-fly list.
Yeah.
So I really like that a lot, and that is from Image as well. And the last one I read a lot. Because I was stuck in an airport for a little while.
Yeah,
I read Neverboy from Dark Horse, and I'm just gonna give you the concept because I think you should read it because because it's really good and it's really amazing how it's done. It's about an imaginary friend. It's about what happens to your imaginary friend when you stop imagining about them. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So go read it. It's called Neverboy #1. It's by Dark Horse, and it's that. It's like that movie, Drop Dead Fred, but without an annoying person in it.
Right.
So yeah, it's about this guy that's like this person who's like an imaginary friend, but like he's not an imaginary friend anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's just very weird and trippy, and I really, really recommend it. I don't want to say too much because it would totally give it away.
Yeah.
All right, I'm done. Next.
Piper, we can geek me.
See, I'm going to be even better than that. I read Rat Queen's #9. It was good. It is everything I expect from Rat Queen.
Right.
I mean, I can say if you are super duper have to have like super girly comics, Rat Queen's is and isn't for you. It is in the sense of, hey, lots of chick main characters and they're strong female main characters. It isn't in the fact that it is that they are lewd and crude and rude, which is why I love them.
Right.
But mostly, I just want to talk about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Agent Ultron.
Okay. Don't spoil Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. because I haven't watched it yet.
Oh my God, you suck so bad right now.
I haven't watched it either, so we're gonna have to wait till next week.
Suck.
Well, I'm house sitting, so the worst part about house sitting is I can't bring my DVR with me.
Yeah.
Because that would be weird, right? Like that's obsessive.
Just they're like, hey, where do I plug this in at?
I'm like, got everything? Yeah, I just gotta grab the DVR, honey. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Don't suck.
Yes. Was that all you read, Piper?
Unfortunately, I think so.
Okay.
I read a lot more last week, but I can't remember it. This week was my spring break, which I thought I was going to read so much, but instead I'm wondering if I should look into whether or not I have narcolepsy. I swear.
You just randomly falling asleep at weird times or what?
Naps everywhere.
Complete side note, I actually do have narcolepsy, so if you can talk about it, let me know.
Wow.
Oh, shoot.
Wait a second. Back up the sleep train here.
Okay, so we're gonna back up and talk about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
You have where's the narcolepsy comic? That needs to happen next, my friend.
You know, I actually had this. The first comic I did was called "They Need Me," and I did 6 pages of it. Yeah, I get a lot of feedback on it, but it was a really, really fun book. And the main guy sort of had narcolepsy, and whenever he would sleep, he would be teleported somewhere in the world where they needed help.
Oh wow!
So,
yeah. That's amazing. That's an amazing concept.
Thank you. Yeah, I did it, and for some reason I just didn't really like how it came out, so I kind of abandoned it. But my wife and my team keep telling me to pick it back up. So
yeah,
it
revisit that.
Good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Once again, Chris, your wife is right.
I am so interested right now.
I'll send you guys the first 6 pages that we finished. It has a little mini story.
Oh, cool.
How pissed are you when you saw? Oh my God, what's that Rob Schneider movie called?
Oh.
The Gigolo, Deuce Bigelow, male Gigolo.
Yeah.
And it had the narcolepsy chick in there, and you're like, fuck, that is not how narcolepsy works.
Yeah, I haven't been diagnosed with it that long, but that's incredibly not how it works for the record, like at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't think so.
Like, you've eaten soup before, right?
Yes. Once or twice.
Yes.
But it's risky.
Nice.
It is risky. You never know with soup.
Yes.
Just have that snorkel just in case. What? Wow.
All right, real quick before we talk about Age of Ultron, besides Princess Leia, the only other thing I read was Harley Quinn number 15. We don't need to talk very long. Yeah.
Let's back up the Harley Quinn train here.
Yes.
What is that cover from a movie? Like, I don't understand that cover, because that's the variant cover, and it was like a variant cover like movie week. Like, what movie is that from?
This Harley Quinn one? Is this supposed to be a movie one too?
It's got to be, right? Because all the other DC variants that came out this week were movie variants. So why wouldn't that be from a movie?
I don't know.
Is that the variant cover?
Yeah.
Yes,
that's
this
the
is
variant.
Oh, okay, I thought that was the main cover.
No, the main cover.
It's like new Harley Quinn versus like old Harley Quinn.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know.
A movie's not coming to mind, but yeah, I've seen the other movie-related covers. They've been awesome.
Yeah.
I almost bought the Green Lantern one just because it was like a Space Odyssey cover, and I was like, oh, I kind of need that, but I'm never gonna actually read the issue.
Yeah. Well, I bought Batman. I don't actually read just because it looked like the Matrix, so I was like,
yeah.
That's
freaking cool.
They didn't have that one when I was there.
Yeah, but Harley Quinn, I don't need to gush about how I feel about Harley Quinn. It's your typical Harley Quinn. Every time Poison Ivy shows up in an issue, they always seem to end up in their bikinis or in their lingerie or half naked. Nothing changed in this one.
So sick of that.
Side note, Piper, I do want to let you know I signed your petition to get a Poison Ivy series.
Awesome! Hopefully she'll, not just be eye candy if she gets one.
I feel the same way about Poison Ivy as I do Black Cat. I really wish they had their own series.
Yeah.
Hey guys, she was just eye candy in this.
She's usually eye candy in most of them.
I think in the last one that she was in too, they like made out.
Yeah,
right?
There's a lot of that in this one. Really, all that's happening in this one is Harley is realizing that she has way too much going on, and Ivy convinces her that she needs to find an assistant, so to speak, more like a sidekick. And so we already kind of get interspersed with this, like some girls who are obviously going to be auditioning for the role of sidekick / assistant. So nothing too crazy there. But let's talk Age of Ultron.
Hold on. Shameless plug.
Yeah.
Yes. In May, issue 2 of Cosplay Culture magazine will be coming out, and you can find my piece about Harley Quinn cosplay.
Ooh.
Okay, continue.
Yeah, and if you follow me on Twitter, you might have already seen me yell at Casey.
Yeah. Everybody go to your local Target and Walmart and pick up Cosplay Culture magazine, issue 1, and check out my Deadpool article. Okay.
Do they have it at Target or Walmart?
Yeah, I found one here in Fresno at Target.
Where? Which one?
I don't know. Which one was it? Oh, the Willow one, maybe.
Okay.
Like people care about the Willow Target.
I do.
I was about to drive up there.
Sweet. We'll send you one, Chris.
Know which Target?
We have like 10.
Yeah. 27 in a 2-block radius.
So many Targets here.
Yes. Age of Ultron. Age of Ultron.
Man, that movie looks fucking good. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
It really does.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Can I just say how excited I am to finally see just a small glimpse of Vision?
Oh man, yes.
And him wearing the Soul Stone. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sorry.
I like
Okay,
to
so-
that anytime someone mentions a Soul Stone, you make that noise.
Mhm. He's got to throw some soul in there. For real.
Quick side note. Side notes. A lot of side notes tonight. Someone just put up a GIF where that scene in the trailer where they're like all like jumping.
Yeah.
Like, on a straight
missing
line.
out.
That's totally
Yeah,
like,
on that truck.
like a comic book,
Yeah.
like a comic book cover. Someone
Right.
photoshopped Spider-Man in there, so now he's like swinging through the middle of them.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, it looks amazing.
Yes.
I actually saw him. He was somebody photoshopped him really well into the original Avengers movie poster
Right.
too, and it looked really good. Except I think at one point Black Widow was in that poster, and she wasn't after Spider-Man got shoved in there.
Oh no! Oh no! You don't replace her.
Right? I
Nobody
was
puts
like,
Baby
the
in a corner.
sausage fest is complete.
Yeah. Yeah. Who else passed out after seeing that trailer? I did.
Oh,
It was pretty amazing. I'm glad to see Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver in action.
Yeah.
There's a really cool scene that's totally like a throwback from the first appearance of Ultron, where he's sitting in that like throne,
Yeah.
and he's wearing that red hood. So in the first, when Ultron was introduced in the comic books, that's how he came out. He was called the Crimson. Oh, I want to say the Crimson Hood or the Crimson Cloak or something like that.
Right.
And you never knew who he was. It was just this guy in like a hooded cloak, and then like the big reveal was like he took off the cloak and he was like this robot figure or whatever. And he's actually the one that brings together like the original Masters of Evil to fight the Avengers. So that's a throwback to that. Like, that scene is a specific throwback to like that first issue where he's like cloaked and like hiding his face and
He's
stuff.
just like chilling there in that throne.
Yeah. And then it's very reminiscent of Annihilation too, where he's like a god or not a god. He's like a treats like royalty of the universe, and he like sits
Like
in
a
like this
ruler,
cool
dictator.
like this cool like throne or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of cool like nods like that, and then the Vision thing was super cool, especially when his like eyes like open, they like focus a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
My favorite part was still the fact that we got to hear Spader talk some more.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
He got to talk through that whole thing, and he wasn't getting covered up by creepy music quite as much and stuff.
Right.
And I was just sitting there like, "Ooh, I can't wait."
If someone was like, okay, you can watch Ultron or you can listen to Ultron, but you can only listen to James Spader's lines, I'd be like, okay, I'm cool with that.
Yeah, they need to do like a silent movie version, but instead it's just him narrating the entire movie like a book.
That would be
Yes.
that'd be freaking awesome. That'd be ridiculously awesome.
And like, I love that he says the quintessential like Ultron line in the trailer is like
Yes.
they'll never have peace. Like, they'll never have it. Like the only way they ever will get peace is through their destruction. Like
Yeah.
that is Ultron. That's always Ultron. Yeah, that's his like. That's the heart of Ultron, and it's like so cool. Like I'm getting chills just talking about it, like sitting here.
I know,
Yeah.
but that was still like the lines. His lines specifically were still my favorite part. I mean, I know there was a lot of cool stuff to look at.
Could you imagine being Josh Whedon and writing that script and just like the massive hard on he must just had the entire
Oh
time?
my god!
Like serious, like I couldn't like if Marvel was like, Casey, listen to
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
We have no idea what we're doing for Infinity War Part 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Can you please write it? I would, after I had to like clean my room and disinfected it thoroughly.
Yeah.
Like I would like lock
Sterilize
myself
everything.
away for like 6 months, yeah, and just not talk to anyone and just fucking have a nerdgasm extreme.
Yeah.
Like getting to write that line, like he must have just like agonized over days, like how's it gonna sound, like how am I gonna word it perfectly? Because like that is like the quintessential like Ultron like line, like you'll never have peace unless you're extinct. Like that's it's so good.
Yeah.
Why are people letting me talk so much?
Because it's hilarious.
This is what happened.
Well, look, listen, man.
If it makes you feel better, I wasn't listening.
One of the things he was quoted as saying was really difficult about this movie is writing with all the addition of all the extra characters that we're going to get in this movie, and I can imagine that's quite a daunting task, especially that was kind of like one of the things everybody was worried about in the first movie. But I think, typical Marvel style, they're going to pull it off just fine. It's going to be like the most ridiculously awesome thing we've ever seen.
Can I just say how tired Captain America looked in every scene?
Oh, yeah.
Like, he just looked like, fuck, I just don't know what I want to be doing. Why, are we really fighting, like, sentient robots? Like,
Yes.
Right now?
Yeah.
Which is funny because he kind of looks too young to have that man. I'm too old for this shit look, but technically he is too old.
Right?
For that
He is.
shit.
He's like 100.
Yeah, I know. He really is too old for that shit.
Yes.
That movie is gonna be something else.
Yeah. I'm definitely planning to go see it at the El Cap in Hollywood, which is where I always go to see those big Marvel movies. So.
Well, la-dee-da, fancy pants.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to camp out again at the red carpet, and if I do that again,
My God! Can you imagine?
I'm gonna live broadcast again.
No way.
Oh yeah.
I did it last time.
You could not pay me to go down there and deal with
Yeah,
that
I did it
madness.
last time and waited
I would do it.
Yes.
But that's probably because I'm all the way out here right now in Ohio, and
Yes.
not shit happens in Ohio.
Yeah, we're
Totally
like
worth it.
4 hours from LA, so it's totally like doable, and then like you just
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, so you guys roll your eyes and you're like, celebrities,
Yeah,
woohoo,
whatever.
oh my god. I'm over here like,
Whatever.
dude, that would be cool.
It's not the
Yes.
celebrities you worry about; it's all the other fucking nerds you have to hang out with.
Yes. Hey, I'm gonna be smart and camp out next to Kid Coulson because everybody loves that guy. So I got a shot of getting more autographs this time.
So, listener Peter Morrow asks, who do you think will be killed off in Age of Ultron?
Well,
Oh.
I don't know.
I can tell you right now. Spoiler alert. It's gonna be
Yeah.
Hawkeye, because nobody gives a shit about Hawkeye.
Well,
I was gonna say Hawkeye or Black Widow, and then I
Yeah.
realized
Have any
no,
movies
wait,
in
they
the
might
pipeline.
still need Black Widow.
Well,
They
no, see,
might.
no one's gonna die because I think it's already been confirmed that Hawkeye and Black Widow are in Captain America 3.
Okay.
And Thor has a movie coming out, Thor 3 or
Sure.
Thor 3. So
Right.
half the team right there. Tony will be back for Cap 3.
Right.
But technically, the only person that could technically die or something
Yeah.
happen to him is Hulk. So maybe the rumor, the rumor of him getting blasted off into space
Yeah.
is actually a thing.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, they did break out that Hulkbuster suit finally, so
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. Well, with the
it would
Hulkbuster-
make sense that something happens to him.
Yeah, my thought is now that the Hulkbuster suit's in play, they capture him, and for the after-scene credits, we have Xavier sit down with Black Bolt, introduce Stephen Strange in that scene, bring in Benedict Cumberbatch, and just show all them sitting at that table. That's all it would take.
Can they eat shawarma
Yeah.
again?
Can
we have
what?
more shawarma? Can we have more shawarma again?
Yes, that's what they're doing at the table.
Yes.
It's funny that Shawarma and Coulson like stole the show in Avengers, like a food.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
So Will's gonna fucking hate me for this, but
That's okay.
I've seen Avengers like 10 times.
Right.
Like that movie doesn't really nothing really happens in that movie until the third act.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the first major action scene is like them repairing a ship.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's just a bunch of dialogue, and then finally the aliens come. So
Yeah.
the big takeaway from that movie is the shawarma stuff, because everything else is kind of generic. But I think the idea of that movie, and all of them coming together is what makes it special. So it didn't have to be fucking amazing.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
Age of Ultron has
I
to be
think the
amazing.
reason they did that too is because that was the first movie where they were getting all of these people from their side movies all into one movie, so they did want to establish their dynamic and the Avengers actually getting created. They could have probably moved it along a little bit faster, but at least there's a lot of comedy in there. So
That's true.
Yeah. The new one doesn't seem very comedic, but I think that's intentional. Josh Whedon's not gonna not make it funny, so
Yeah.
I think it'll still be comedic. It's just man, those trailers are depressing.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're a little less than 2 months out, so we can finally get to see it soon. But yeah, since we're about that time, let's go over our round of final thoughts. We'll start with our guests, Chris and Amanda. Just this is where we usually take 60 seconds at the end of the show to plug whatever you want, say whatever you want.
Sure.
Yell at Casey if you want.
No, Casey's awesome. This has been a ton of fun. Thank you guys for having us on. Just check out our books, overtimecomics.com, Facebook, Twitter, all under the same name. We have 2 different series, Turbulence and Defects, which are both available to download or have us send you the book, which has 5 issues per volume. Hopefully you guys enjoy them. Small warning, if you listen to this, probably doesn't matter to you. You're probably a big kid, but Defects is a little violent, like y'all were saying. So.
Yeah.
No, we have a huge under 10 audience. Huge under 10.
Oh yeah, I can tell, Casey. I'm sure you.
You're like, Mommy, what does that mean?
Does he really have 6 penises, Mommy?
It's more like, how can I get 6 penises, Mommy? Be the most popular kid in school.
Yes.
Under 10. Casey, you had a weird childhood.
I did.
Chris and Amanda, thank you so much for being on.
Thank you very much for having us, and Casey, I forgive you.
Oh, thank you so much. I wasn't going to be able to sleep tonight. I was worried.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
Of course, thank you. Hey, Casey, final thoughts, man.
Oh, I have nothing
Lay it on
profound to say. Nothing at all. So, go to your local Walmarts and Targets and look for Cosplay Culture Magazine, because I like getting paid.
Yes.
And magazines are dying. So, in the interest of keeping a magazine alive and checks coming to my mailbox, please go to your local Targets and Walmarts and purchase Cosplay Culture Magazine. Also, make sure you're going to geekswithwives.com and you're listening to all of our podcasts, including the video games podcast and the movie and TV podcasts, and you're checking out all of our comic reviews and previews and video game reviews and previews and all the hoopla that goes on over there. In fact, I just posted we get some weird stuff. Thanks Peter Morrow for this. I just posted a historical fencing article. So if you're interested in taking up fencing, check out Peter Morrow's article and his experience with historical fencing. Become a star of The Princess Bride or a Jedi and learn to fence. What else? That's pretty much it, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
Go to geekswithwives.com.
Check it out. Piper, what do you got?
I've got, as always, follow Outside Boxcast. Ugh, that was hard to say for some reason. On Twitter, because that is not necessarily a podcast, but a web series that we are going to try to launch as soon as I get my shit together and figure out how we want to organize the reward tiers for an Indiegogo. And you could follow me on Twitter, but you'll probably get offended. I am very opinionated, and I'm using this entire minute this time instead of trying to cram all of my promos into 20 seconds. So I have a very brief part of a story today. Apparently, this huge shitstorm happened on my Twitter because I said I existed. Because I said I am an actual real life female and that I actually exist, and which is going to be related to an article I'm writing right now.
Okay.
Yeah, don't expect Gail Simone to come over our podcast anytime, guys.
No, we're like besties, man. We're like this. We're tight. No. No, we cleared that part up. But yes, it did start with her.
I see her a lot, and I'm afraid now she's gonna give me a dirty look and be like, "No more interviews, guy."
No, we're good. It was honestly everybody else jumping into it that turned it into a shitstorm.
Yeah.
Isn't that how it always goes?
Yeah. So I'm writing an article. I was going to write an article to boost my petition that I'm boosting now. To get Poison Ivy her own ongoing comic series where she's written a little more respectfully because she has a good backstory and she has awesome potential. I was going to write an article about that and a few of my thoughts on why this needs to happen. It has turned into a more broad article on my views of feminism going nuts over comics in general. That hopefully Geeks with Wives will let me post. And it
as
will.
As long as it has a 3 curse word minimum.
Oh man, there's gonna be a lot of editing. No, I'm trying to watch it actually. There's a couple of times where I went back and edited a word to a nicer word already, and I'm not done writing it. But yeah, so it'll explain the Gale clusterfuck that happened on Twitter today.
Nice.
Gay old clusterfuck. Wow, that is a phrase I have not heard since the Flintstones.
No, Gale.
Oh, Gale. I think so.
That gay old clusterfuck on my Twitter.
Like gay old time?
We didn't meet our offensive quota yet, so...
Yes.
No,
Right,
Gale.
Lock it up.
Yeah, there we go. The clusterfuck of me tweeting her. There we go.
Awesome.
I think that's it for that I'll boost today.
Awesome. Thanks, Piper. You guys are grand. I adore you all. Just real quick, if you're watching it, obviously by the time this gets posted and you've just listened to it, this will kind of already be like a moot point. But if you're watching and if you're in our area where Casey and I am in the Central Valley, this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, I'm going to be at the Epic Tulare Sci-Fi Con, which is shaping up to be a really cool con, on the smaller local sense. This year, our buddy Ethan Dettenmeyer from Combat Radio is bringing a whole bunch of his celebrity regulars and supporters. So, I mean, there's going to be people like Adrian Paul from the Highlander series, Xander Berkeley, who's been in everything from Nikita to Salem to Air Force One is going to be there. Carolyn Hennessy from the Disney Channel show Jessie, as well as General Hospital, will be there. A whole crap load of people. The really cool thing about this con is, number one, that it's super cheap. It's like $10 to get in and get to see all these cool people. But also, I think all of the proceeds are going to a children's charity called Make the World a Better Place Children's Foundation. So if you're in the local area, go check it out because it's really fun. It's for a good cause, and you're going to get to see a lot of kick-ass people this year. Even our buddy C. Andrew Nelson, who has played Darth Vader more times than all the other actors combined. So come check it out. I will be out there debuting my brand new Bard the Bowman costume on Saturday. So I'm
excited.
Yes. So thank everybody for joining us on this Thursday night. As always, thank you to our amazing guests, Chris Garrett and Amanda Garrett. We appreciated having you. For Casey, for Piper, and for me and the rest of the team, we hope you have a great weekend. And as always, we will catch you on the Geek side. Booyah!
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.